Oh shit. Sparks are flying, dicks are hard, vaginas are moist for this chapter. Atarius Natsu Dragneel is here. What's going on, my fellow Fairy Tail to my Doshis? This chapter, boy, where do I even begin? Natsu and his end form, let me go ahead and say it's kind of hard to tell if he's still on the good side, if he's still on Fairy Tail side, because really the only thing we got from him this chapter was blowing up the room that Lucy was being held captive in. And let me say that every time Lucy and Urza are captive, they end up topless and beaten somehow. I mean, they are truly the fan service of this anime slash manga. But anyway, we only got him destroying that building, so I don't know if he was actually trying to help Lucy or if he just woke up and just went raw and just blew everything up and fucked up old girl. I mean, she's obviously covered in burns and Lucy isn't. But is that really because he's still there? Because at the end, he just says Zeref. Where's Zeref? And how he says Gray's name, you know, granted, we can't hear it. It's in manga. It kind of seems like he knows who people are still, but I don't know if his like primal Atarius, you know, instincts are taking over, if he'll actually be able to hold back against a friend. Like I said, granted, Lucy was not harmed, but I mean, Gray is going to try to stand in his way, of course, and he's going to be like, "Hey, are you in?" And Natsu's going to be like, "No shit, don't you see this Atarius shit flowing from my motherfucking veins? I mean, I have the claws now, but I am slightly disappointed. Like, don't get mad at me. I am slightly disappointed in Natsu's end form. I mean, he looks epic, don't get me wrong, but I thought his, you know, Atarius form, his demon form pretty much would be, you know, transform him more into a demon, like, you know, throw in some horns or some shit. He really just has claws now, and his body is emitting like this dark aura, or like this really dark heat that seems to be coming up off of him. And he may have like black markings on his face. I can't tell if that's actually markings or if that's just like, you know, the shadow, just to show this dramatic scene, like with the one eye showing, looking at Gray. I don't know if that's actually black markings on his body. If it is, that's cool. If not, if he's just Natsu with claws and just the flaming dark aura coming up off of him, it looks epic, don't get me wrong, but I kind of expected more from E.N.D, you know, the thing that was created to kill Zeref. It just looks like a powered the fuck up Natsu. I mean, he looks like he can whoop some motherfucking ass, don't get me wrong, but I just expected more, a little bit more from the E.N.'s design. But that obviously was the highlight of this chapter. I was wrong about saying that Natsu will wake up with his dragonized form. Although he did wake up using his, you know, with his end form, I was kind of right. You know, I'm going to say I was like 25% right on that. You know, 25% is better than none. But Natsu and Gray are going to go at it. Gray finally found out that Natsu is in, and then right when he sees him, what do you know? Here goes in, like right in your face. So it's about to be a big dick battle royale between these two friends. I mean, this is the fight that we've been waiting for. This isn't just like this petty rivalry bullshit. This is Gray trying to defeat E.N.D for his father, and just because, you know, he promised he would, and E.N.D, which is Natsu, trying to get to Zeref, and who knows, Gray may not let him because he wants to take care of E.N.D himself. But I would think that Gray would be like, nah, man, I know I want to take care of E.N.D, but you're my homie, so I'm not going to take you out. But obviously, that's not going to happen because this setup screams Natsu versus Gray. So the question is, will the Atarius Natsu Dragneel, you know, the one that has already shown us nothing to be fucked with, can he take out this demon slaying or devil slaying Gray? You know, because devil slaying magic is specifically made for fighting, you know, demons and, you know, Atarius, you know, Nis, whatever. But I'm pretty sure Natsu is going to confront Zeref with this power, so I don't think Natsu is just going to like take care of Gray like that, but I do think he's going to come out on top. I don't think he's going to struggle all that much, but I do think he's going to push Gray to the limit, and then Natsu's limit is going to be higher than Gray's and ultimately come out on top. But other than that, this was a pretty good chapter. I mean, it was mostly like Lucy trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, like after the explosion, and Polyushka and Happy and everyone else like ran, like, hey, what the fuck happened to you? Why are your tits hanging out? Why is your vagina all, you know, in our faces or whatnot? And it was a few pages like that that I was like, just come on, get to Natsu. I know Natsu did this. I know Natsu is like, he has something new, either a new form or he awakened his end powers, because old girl was like, oh, it's a monster. He's a fucking monster. I'm not fucking with the fairy tale members. I'm going back home. I want to go to sleep. I want to get in my bed. I want to get the fuck away from all you crazy motherfuckers. That motherfucker is a monster. And I was like, oh, how badass does Natsu look right now that we got that final chapter, final page of the chapter with Natsu looking all badass. He looks so freaking epic. I love how he's just walking, slowly walking, saying Zeref, where's Zeref? Like he's a mindless zombie and the only thing on his mind is Zeref, which is why I say I don't know if he's still on the good guys side. Like I said before, it's obvious he still is kind of in his right mind because he says Gray's name. He knows that's Gray. He knows he's looking at Gray, but like I don't think anything's going to be able to stop Natsu trying to get to Zeref. I don't think Gray's going to be able to stop him. I don't think if Lucy, you know, jumped in front of him with her tits hanging out, say no, come hug me or, you know, do me or some shit, he's still going to throw her to the side and be like, Zeref, I need to get to Zeref. So I can't wait to see what happens next, and tell me what you guys think. I may have looked at it wrong because I did only read this chapter twice. Are those like dark or black markings all over Natsu, or is that just like the shadow of, you know, his hair or something, or from the dark aura that's flowing all around him and the heat that's coming up off of him? Are they showing like shadow on his face just to look epic like how a lot of anime do? But there really isn't that much of a change in Natsu turning into his end form. I don't know why I expected a little bit more, but I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, I'm not trying to nitpick too much, and it's not a big deal at all. It looks fucking epic. I appreciate it for what it is. We finally have E.N.D, and even if this is just a Natsu with this dark aura heat coming up off of him, it still will be epic because we know that he is way more powerful than possibly what he's ever been, because, you know, Zeref created E.N.D to put an end to himself, so he has to have powers now to rival Zeref himself, plus his already OP self after the time skip. So we're going to see some epic shit from this Eterius Natsu Dragneel. But that's pretty much all that happened in this chapter. Everything else was just, you know, Lucy getting fondled and her titties tickled and shit, and then after the building blew up, they were like, oh, what's going on? And then old girl was like, this motherfucker is a monster. And we got, you know, some lines with Polyushka and Happy and some other, you know, side characters and whatnot. But the whole chapter, after I saw what happened, you know, I was like, man, what's going on with Natsu? And then we finally got it. So I'm not going to say the rest of the chapter was irrelevant after I saw E.N.D, but that was definitely the highlight, and it took like almost every other bit of hype from the rest of the chapter away, because we're about to get Natsu versus Gray, E.N.D versus the devil or demon slaying Gray. Man, this is going to be an amazing chapter, next chapter. But tell me what you guys think. Who do you think is going to come out on top? I'm pretty sure Natsu is, but do you think it's going to be close? Do you think Natsu's going to win by a landslide? And what size boobs do you think Lucy has? That's a very important question. Anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think down below, and I'm out.